Peace, Patrick, ConservativeRap, and let's cover the geopolitical and financial news. What's happening currently? The big beautiful bill has now set the stage for the future of what's come. First, Trump put two flags in front and behind the White House. That's a symbolic gesture to show you that the chess game has been won. The territory is conquered for us, the Americans, the people. It's time for us to expose the deep state. I think soon we're going to start to look at how the 2020 election was stolen, like actual proof, and how Biden was effectively like a puppet government pawn. They couldn't pull off in 2024 what they did with Biden in 2020 because Kamala just simply wasn't as popular. People just couldn't stand her. And the Trump movement over time, that 2020 presidency, just doubled. So many people saw the cognitive decline of Biden. So much more information came to the forefront that the MAGA movement was too powerful to stop. Then Trump brought in Elon to show waste and fraud, got people used to the general concept. And then that's going to naturally lead to corruption, right? It's not just waste and fraud. If you really think about it, obviously it's deep Democrat operations that are treasonous to this country. So once all this is done, the Deep Party is going to cease to exist. Elon mentioned in some of his posts starting a new party, and I think you'll get a sense of why as we start to cover some of these happenings. So let's take a quick look. Remember Ann Landers? This is good. This is an education on socialism. Dear Ann, I'm an English teacher, and my students are reading George Orwell's 1984. I'm having a difficult time explaining communism, socialism, and fascism without giving a time-consuming history lesson. I recall you printed numerous humorous explanations of these concepts using cows. Will you please print it again? I'm sure it will kickstart a lively discussion. This is an oldie but goodie. Socialism, you have two cows. Give one cow to your neighbor. Communism, you have two cows. Give both cows to the government and they might give you some milk. Fascism, you have two cows. You give all the milk to the government and the government sells it. Nazism, you have two cows, the government shoots you and takes both. Anarchism, you have two cows, keep both cows, shoot the government agent and steal another cow. Capitalism, you have two cows, sell one, buy a bull. Amen. And this is succinct, powerful, love it. Next, Stephen Miller on the big beautiful bill. Elon Omar comments, this abomination of a bill gives $150 billion for immigration enforcement. Praise God. They're paying for it by cutting Medicaid and SNAP, which we know is a lot of that's fraudulent. They want to take food off your table and health care from your family to fund a police state. Unconscionable. Stephen Miller replies very simply, the communists know that if this bill passes, the invasion is reversed. They're not going to be able to alter electoral counties and continue to ship in a voting class. That's the problem the Democrats have. Yeah. And well said again by Stephen Miller. The judicial insurrection against the Trump mandate. I thought this was pretty interesting. Why did I put this here? Let's go ahead and open in a new tab. As President returned to office with a decisive electoral mandate, a wave of coordinated legal resistance emerged. This time not at the ballot box, but in the courtroom. This site documents the expanding network of lawsuits, activist rulings, and nationwide injunctions that now serve as the principal weapon in an escalating war of lawfare. From paralyzing the executive branch to preserving radical policy legacies, unelected federal judges, many appointed by Clinton, Biden, and Obama, have issued sweeping orders to block core elements of Trump's agenda. And this is what we call their attempts to check the executive power. The people voted for Trump. Trump is following through on what they voted for, and these people are way outside of their jurisdiction. Currently 266 injunctions. I think it's like a, let's see here. This is it, actually. I just realized I wasn't sharing. I think it's a actual, like, record. There were more injunctions done against Trump during his second presidency so far than any presidency, I think, in history, if I'm not mistaken. Check me on that, though. More on from Mike Davis. What Biden did was not immigration. He orchestrated a foreign invasion. The Supreme Court sat on its hands. we got elected Trump in office to repel that invasion, his highest constitutional duty as commander-in-chief is what he's doing on immigration. And the federal judiciary must get the hell out of his way. Very accurate. Let's go ahead and moving on. Also, I thought this was fascinating. The day I've warned for 6 years and screamed about the past 6 months is finally here. The EU's voluntary code of conduct of disinformation became mandatory. U.S. social media platforms will now get whipped by huge EU fines if they don't throttle what the EU calls disinfo. Today, the EU takes a significant step towards strengthening online censorship, transforming the code of conduct of disinformation into a mandatory part of the Digital Service Act. The DSA threatens free speech across the world and must be repealed. All right. We're going to go and quote this, and I'm going to say censorship at its finest. Where are the First Amendment rights for EU citizens? Right, bang. Some more there. Now, moving on, let's take a quick look at Breitbart. Here's what the media isn't telling you about Trump's Rwanda-Congo peace deal. I thought this was also fascinating. The rare earth mill.
Pass it. There's no way anyone will have fully digested the bill. And we certainly would have had enough time to reflect on it and to think about it and to think about what's really the best stuff in it. But sometimes when you reflect on things and you think about it, things get better. I had this experience earlier this week when I was talking about or thinking about Trump brokering peace between Rwanda and Congo. And my initial take on why that was a big deal is because it's something that's been going on for 30 years. And I did a deep dive on the Congo. This is a long rabbit hole that I don't want to get down today, but I did a deep dive on the Congo a couple of years ago. I really didn't turn into much content, but I was thinking of going over there and to Kinshasa. I was looking at this and I was thinking, well, it's very cool that Trump did that. Take a far-flung, war-torn region. No one gives a crap about it. And Trump's like, I'm going to focus on this. We're going to broker a peace. And we're going to get a quick W. We're going to get a W on the board. We're going to win on the board. Trump loves wins. And a lot of good CEOs like wins. They like to put stuff on the board. They like to get stuff done. This is a good thing in your life. And I think you should look at this for the people you surround yourself with. A lot of people are driven by notching new victories. And a lot of the people that I've worked for or worked with who are very successful, they like that approach. Trump clearly likes that approach. Bannon likes that approach. Charlie Kirk likes that approach. Like a lot of the really smart executives that I've worked with, they like to notch victories. Just get a new W. Keep the W's coming. Victory begets victory. That sort of approach. That's kind of what I thought Trump was up to. And then I thought about it for a second, and I thought, well, wait a minute. This is actually bigger than this because there are rare earths there. Okay, that should be obvious, right? But they're rare earths. They mine them in the Congo. But then there's a great refining capabilities in Rwanda. And I made this connection. Of course I should have, but it feels kind of stupid. But it's not about just the Congo and Rwanda. It's about China. Because a lot of this mining that's done was been basically co-opted with the Chinese. America comes in, we're the heroes in the region. And then we start brokering a partnership there. So the mining and the refining is done with America as part of the equation.
Yep.
This works for a million reasons. First of all, China doesn't care about human rights. So there's that, which I care about human rights. I mean, anyone would. You should. China doesn't. So we're talking about these children slaves that are part of this industry. Well, maybe we could start rolling that back a little bit. But the main thing is it's another way of us countering China. And the same way I've talked about one of the unified theories I've got about Trump's administration to this point is that almost all roads lead to China. Almost every move he's making is designed to chip away at China's global dominance and ascension. And this is just the latest example of that. And that's very good stuff. And he just shows you that he's playing a really complex game of chess. He's playing it very, very well. This is the hottest I've ever seen a president right now.
Amazing. Well stated by this guy. I would recommend checking this content out a bit more. Next, let's move on to another great news site. This is going to be World Net Daily. In Iran, regime officials and business elites secure escape plans abroad. Executions have surged at an alarming rate. In June alone, 140 were reported, 9 prisoners executed on charges of espionage for Israel, charges widely seen as fabricated. And this goes into detail, right? The economic collapse, the flight from the Tehran stock exchange, regime elites, IRGC securing like escape routes, fearing collapse, Khomeini's frail of video appearance, resistance rights, and then the executions and the unrest intensifying. So just this, kind of a snapshot of what's happening here and why we have a powerful president doing the right thing. And next, just on the medical front, let's go to Gateway Pundit. FDA announces new safety warning on all mRNA COVID vaccines. Cites extremely high risk of myocarditis and long-term heart damage in young men. No shit. This is what we all knew from a while ago. And slowly, remember, you got to wake people up slowly. It's all going to come to the forefront. I think after denying and downplaying risk for years, the FDA is now requiring both Pfizer and Moderna to update their prescribing information, adverse reaction sections, and fact sheets for patients and caregivers. So justice is coming for these guys, one step at a time. Now let's move on, just more about America. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy sent a letter to all 50 governors demanding state remove any political painting on the roads, including rainbow crosswalks. This record roads are for safety, not political messages or artwork. And he's 100% right. Why are we using the actual streets? It's confusing when you're driving on it for political messages. This is retarded. And more America first, restoring back the greatness of our country happening nationally and on the global stage. Now, lastly, for anyone checking out the Trump-Elon feud, you tell me this isn't like, what does this mean? Let's just check it out.
Elon, I love the double hat, but
Yeah.
he's the only one that can do that. Get away with it.
Well, Mr. President, they say I wear a lot of hats. Even my hat has a hat.
All right. They made this 17 seconds. Love it. All right. Gonna approach the... Right. Guys, the Patriots are in control. It's a great time to be in America. Keep your eyes and your ears open, and let's get ready to bring this country back on the right track. Check me out at ConservativeRap.com. I'm also on Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, and look forward to more shortly. Thanks, and take care.